Hi everyone, it's Miss Vasquez again for Tech Study. And today you won't need anything, just your listening ears. But if you, again, want to go above and beyond, you can grab a piece of paper and a pencil, marker, crayon, anything you can use to write with to make a list just like I do. Now, today for Tech Study, you will be able to compare two texts that are on the same topic or the same subject. Now, when I mean the same topic or subject, I'm talking about texts that talk about the same thing. So we've been reading texts about plants, Now, when we compare two texts on the same topic, we are able to learn more about that subject. So by reading all these different types of texts, we've learned so much about plants, about how plants grow, and now we're going to look closely and talk about how texts are the same. The same or similar. Now, the very first thing that we're going to do is we're going to look closely at how do seeds grow. And that's one of the articles that we read. Take a close look at the illustration. This illustration looks like a real-life photograph of a small plant that has just started to grow. Now, I'm going to read this quickly, and then we're going to move on to our next text and talk about how they are the same. Now, many plants start off as small seeds. How does a seed grow? First, a seed falls in or is put into dirt. Water and the sun's light might help the seed start growing. Soon, the seed breaks open. Roots start to grow down into the dirt. Then, a shoot pushes up through the dirt. The stem and leaves pop out next. Soon, the little plant will be grown up. Now, we just learned all about seeds by reading this article. We learned that seeds grow into plants. They start off by small objects that are put into the dirt or fall into the dirt. And we know that seeds need water and sunlight to grow. Now, let's look closely at a page from Seed to Pumpkin. In less than 2 weeks from planting time, green shoots poke up through the earth. These shoots grow into tiny seedlings. 2 leaves, called seed leaves, uncurl on each stem. They reach up towards the sun. Now, we just read these pages, and we're going to talk about how this text and how do seeds grow are the same. Now, in this text, we also read about seeds. This text tells us that the seeds shoot up through the ground. We heard that in this text. So both of them talk about seeds. Talk about seeds shooting up through the ground as they grow into little plants. And we also hear that they need sun. Now, in this illustration, I see the same pictures that we see right here. The small seed that has grown with 2 little leaves sticking out. Now, we just read these two texts, and we talked about how both of them have some similar things. Now, I'm going to read how plants work, and you are going to talk about how plants work, have some of the same information, and how do seeds grow. Remember, this one is all about seeds. We learned that they are small objects that are put into the dirt or fall into the dirt and that they grow into plants. We also saw that they need water and sunlight to make the seeds start growing and that the seeds shoot up out of the dirt, and then there's a stem and leaves. So now that we know all of those things, let's read this one. How plants work. Every part of a plant has a job to do. The leaves make food for the plant. Leaves use sunlight to make food. The stem holds the plant up. Without a strong stem, the plant would fall down. The roots grow underground. Roots take in water for the plant. Flowers look pretty, but they have a job to do. They make sure new plants will grow. Seeds grow inside flowers. The seeds will fall to the ground. Many of these seeds will grow into new plants. Now, we've just read both of these texts. I want you to think about how these texts are similar. How they are? Yeah, similar. So we're comparing. We are comparing. Now, what I did is I read these two texts and I made a list of the ways that these two texts are similar. Now, you can make your very own list by tapping out the sounds and words and writing them down, or making illustrations, because I love to make illustrations when I'm in class, or sometimes when I work on the computer with you. Now, we're comparing how do seeds grow and how plants work. Did you think of or find ways that these two texts are similar? You're probably right. Now, I noticed that in both texts, we hear the words leaves, stems, and roots. So both texts talk about all of those things. That's one way that the texts are similar. Did you come up with that? Give me a brain match if you did. Now, the next thing that I noticed is that both texts talk about how roots grow underground. Remember, the seeds sprout roots, and that's the very first thing that starts to grow. Now, I think I just gave the next one away. Roots grow first. In both of the articles, or the text that we read, I heard that roots grow first. Now, those are three ways, or three things that I came up with that the texts are similar. Did you come up with any more? Now, if you did, you went above and beyond. Feel free to make your own list or an illustrated list, that means with pictures, to talk about how these two texts are similar. Just like you did a few days ago, you can find your own books around the house or other objects, and you can make a list or talk about how they are the same. How they are? Yeah, way to go.